5. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's another episode of the Venture Maidens podcast. Thank you so much for sticking with us as we resolved some tech issues on the back end, but we are so thrilled to be here. Episode 5 of Campaign 2. For those of you who are new, welcome. This is the Venture Maidens. We are in D&D 5th edition actual play stream that converts to a podcast that publishes new episodes every Sunday. Playing in a homebrew setting that will be detailed in the Venture Maidens campaign guide, which is coming out, the PDF version, in January. So, shit, that's happening really soon. So if you really like what you're seeing here, you can find a lot of good stuff all around. But yeah, hey everybody, how we all doing tonight? Ready for episode 5?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Some good stuff. Some good stuff happened last time. Some scary stuff. We met some new people.
I didn't like them.
Yeah.
We don't need to make any more friends.
Yeah, no more friends. I like all the friends I have. No more NPCs. Thank you, everybody. Great. Well, I guess on that note, let's go ahead and dive in here. Hey, everybody. My name is Celeste Konowich, and tonight I will be your dungeon master.
Hello, I'm Katie, and I'm going to be playing Luveri Sath, your drow rogue.
Hi, people. I'm Nassim. I'm playing Tony Silvertail, your half-orc fighter.
And I am Sage, and I am going to be your lovely bard, Aoife Flannery.
Yay! Oh man, I feel like we're at this very sweet point in a campaign where we all are starting to like get a handle on each other and things are really picking up. You've done some heroic ass shit. Some problems have come your way. So I'm feeling really good about episode 5.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm feeling really good for like an HGTV inspired episode with our new real estate, prospects.
Oh hell yeah! We are definitely gonna need some hardcore, fan art, some Sims playthroughs recreating what's about to happen probably in this episode.
Yeah.
So just so you all know, but anyway, well, yeah, we shouldn't dance around it. No particular content warnings for tonight's episode. Though this is a very adult stream, so we swear a lot and are fucking rad and deal with it. That's it, but no specific content warnings. But with that, let's go ahead and move in. Let's dive into the recap of what happened last time, everybody, on Venture Maidens. Take it
Wow.
away. What?
We returned. I was typing. We returned. And we basically, Tony talked to Imdra and kind of told her everything that had happened. And Imdra was like, okay, if you are going to tell this story, make sure that you have your story straight, because there's a Corellan coming named Whistler, who is notoriously a huge douchebag. Not her words, my words. And so
highly
Tony was
effective
like, okay,
in the
cool.
field would have been her words.
Yeah. Yes. I like mine better. And so we eventually all met up again for breakfast. And we kind of discussed what's our story going to be, what are we going to say, and we kind of all agreed on a story. We weren't going to mention Rook being there, and we were going to say basically that once we killed this fake creature, Winnie was back to normal magically. And that was what we decided. And we kind of all went about our days kind of in anticipation of this Corellan coming. I forget when I had my dream, but
It was pretty much after.
Eventually, I think.
Yeah, right after you all got back to camp, and then Rook said, "Hey, I gotta go take care of something, but I'll be back in 3 days."
Okay, so yeah, Lou had a dream, which is very strange for her because she is an elf and does not dream; she just meditates. So having this like moment where she had no control over the situation, and of course, the subject matter of sexy fae lady at first on this boat, and suddenly, everything's very nice, if you will. And suddenly she turns and she sees her late partner, who is presumed dead, basically imploring the gods for assistance. And as the waves kind of crash down, implying that the ship is going down in Lou's mind, at least. And then she woke up and found a marble. I don't know what that was, but an empty little glass sphere. But yeah, so we basically met up and then eventually got called in to talk to Whistler, who confirmed douchebag.
Yeah, he confirmed his douche status. Basically,
why? What did he do?
Threatened us.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
really threatened Aoife. Because of her fae background, and we were like, well, listen, man, we did our jobs. We saved Winnie. She's back to normal. I don't know what else you think happened, but we did our jobs and she's safe. So, fuck you. Because you don't come in and ask for information with threats. Okay, that's not how you get cooperation. Happening.
That's how cops do. This guy had big cops vibes. Yeah.
And that's why there's a lot of problems when different jurisdictions try to work together.
Indeed.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. This is for you, iTunes reviewer, who gave us 1 star because we were too political.
Oh my god, I took a screen cap of that review and I was like, this is my badge of honor.
We've ruined TPT RPGs. Fuck yeah.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
Oh, Lord. Yes.
Moving along swiftly.
So we were warned about Whistler at first by the captain, by Tony's captain, was like, these guys aren't really known for being pleasant. So get your story straight, wink, wink, before you go and talk to him. And so we had our little powwow, and then we went in and we had talked to Whistler, and Aoife lied her goddamn pants off.
Beautiful.
Oh, bards.
But he was definitely able to see right through her meager attempts at continual small talk. And yeah, exactly. And it had said like, oh, do you know what these bells do, what they're for, and why Eladrin can't be Corellans? Well, it's because these bells fuck up the Fae. And, I've never seen what happens to a satyr. If you cross me, you might find out. We might find out together. And we're like,
whoa.
This is the problem.
Don't talk to me or my daughter ever.
Get out of my house.
Truly. And so he had said to us, like, well, we should all go back to Ashtar tomorrow and continue to chat and figure this out, because if Winnie is just fine, as you say she is, then it'll be fine, and no one will be worse for wear. And then we're like, okay. So then we spent the rest of the day being really chill. Totally chill. Waiting
not
for
puckered at all.
Right? Waiting for Rook to come back, because she was supposed to come and we were supposed to go set off with for an adventure with her. And so eventually she did come, grab Tony's attention, and eventually showed Tony a very cool friend, which is in the form of a hut on some big ass chicken legs.
Chicken hut. Yeah.
Chicken hut.
Chicken hut. All right.
We need to know Chicken Hut. We need to know Chicken Hut's name right now.
Immediately. Hell yeah, great recap.
We're all basically ready to vamp the fuck out of there anyway. So
yeah.
Tony was like, oh, sweet ride, man.
Yeah, let's hit it up. Yeah, so that's a great spot, great recap to dive in. So the last moment of the last game was, Tony, you had been kind of camped up in this tree all night just waiting for Rook to come back. You had your stuff ready to go just in case things got squirrely, which Captain Imdra had indicated, like, maybe it would be better if you and your friends moved along for a while. It might be easier on you than dealing with this Corellan thing. So with that in mind, you had camped out, waited. Eventually, Rook, as promised, had come right at that 3-day mark. She had showed up, flagged down your attention. You had noticed she had changed a little bit from last time you had seen her. She looks older, taller, more like a 13-year-old kid than the 10-year-old kid you first encountered before. But you hadn't had a lot of time to consider that before she asked you to army crawl over some hills, asked you to rub some weird, pasty, nasty smelling stuff on your eyeballs. The world had gotten real shiny, and then as you crested a ridge, you had seen this thing in front of you, this hut suspended on these big scaly chicken legs with these beautiful like green and blue feathers decorating around this house. And right now, you in this moment, you see the house is looking down at you. Not because it has eyes, but it's one of those things when you look at a house and the structure of like the windows and the door, it very clearly looks like a face as you see the candle lights of inside as these 2 orange eyes are glaring down at you. And Rook had turned over to you and said, "It's cool, right?"
This is yours? She's
What?
like looking at it, trying to like see inside of it at all. What can she glean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is sort of like my ride. I, won it or whatever. But yeah, I was thinking that, I mean, this is the best way to get kind of anywhere. So, you seem interested at least in coming along and, helping me or whatever. So I guess, yeah, if your friends are cool, yeah, we can use this to just get the hell out of here.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sure they're down. We should go get them, and we should probably leave as soon as possible.
All right, the Corellan.
Yeah. Did you see him?
No, you mentioned it. Actually, I don't think you told me their name. Just I might know them.
I don't know that I wrote their name down.
Whistler was the name.
Whistler. Yeah, Whistler. He has like kind of Western cowboy hat, has, I don't know, some unshaven, unkept, kind of an ass. No, he's an ass.
Tony, make me an insight check.
14.
Okay. Rook nods her head along. She's like, I'm pretty sure I've heard of him. You don't notice anything particular. Okay, well, should I wait here and you go get them? Or should I come with you? How much trouble are you in?
I mean, we're not really in trouble. He just wanted to keep talking to us about, how we got Winnie back to the way she was. I can go get them. Do I need to tell them to rub mud on their face?
Oh, mud won't do that. It's a special, and she takes out like a tiny little jar and from her pocket and kind of waves that. It's sort of like a magic thing. So no, actually no, that would be hilarious. So yes, you have to rub mud on your face before they get here.
I mean, sure, I don't, I kind of went along with whatever the hell you told me. Did I not need to do this? Were you fucking with me?
No, you really do. They won't be able to see it until they have this on. Not until you've been bonded to the house, but that's a whole other thing. But like,
do I need to bond with it?
Oh, you cannot do that here. That's like a whole thing with like a bunch of rituals and big stinky things. And if we get going, we're going to go get the stuff to do that. But right now I just... we need to.
Yeah.
So it's a whole big magic
Got it.
thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Good.
Yeah. I'll be back. I'll
Okay.
go grab them.
All right. You don't need me to like. And she like takes out some daggers and waves them around, like making stabby motions.
No.
Oh,
dude,
okay.
We're not in trouble. We're not in any trouble. We'll just be like heading out for, dinner supplies or something. But if we're not back, I guess within an hour, maybe come with those knives.
I can do that. Okay, I'll just wait here, standing in a field while this chicken hut now, you see it's ruffling its feathers and kind of flexing its legs at this point as if it's not really sure what to think about you.
She's just kind of still staring in awe of it with her head over her shoulder while she's walking.
It's very odd. You can tell the house is looking at you, even though it has no eyes. She's probably pretty eerie. Yeah, the vibes. Oh, the vibes are there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess I'll meet you back here soon.
Okay. She waves a hand, stands very awkwardly. The awkward way that only 13-year-olds, only preteens can stand in this field in the middle of nowhere on the edge of the forest.
13-year-olds with daggers.
Yeah, I got big knives. Okay.
And I cannot lie.
Yeah. So Tony, what is the plan of action here?
It would be to stealthily make her way back into the camp and find Aoife and Lou to try and get our belongings and get going.
Yeah, so by the time Whistler arrived, it was evening ish. So we're rolling now into or Whistler arrived and then you hung out for a while. He's been questioning people. So now it's like 7, 8. So night is falling officially. So people are out and about in their nighttime activities. It wouldn't be too weird for you at this point to mingle, to go talk to people. So as long as you're cool about what you're doing, it's not too suspicious for people to.
Okay, then maybe not stealthily, just being chill,
just
not
drawing
trying
any
to have
attention.
like a good, have some kind of knowledge of where Whistler's whereabouts are.
Yeah, so
Is he still like in his tent questioning folks.
Yeah, so he took over Captain Imdra's tent, and you can very quickly glean from your comrades that Whistler is basically not left. He's ordered food to be delivered to him in the tent. He's occasionally called other people in to interview them. He seems to have talked to a great many people in camp in the hours between when you were interviewed and basically have been sitting on the tree on the edge of town.
Okay. Then I guess I'll just ask around. Hey, if I happen to see Bashar, my squad mate around.
Yeah, definitely Bashar
him,
and
like, hey, have you
Oh, go for it.
Bashar and Doreen, if they're around, be like, hey, has anyone seen Chef Lou or Aoife? I just need to get some stuff from them.
Yeah, and Bashar will say like, I think they're floating around, but you okay? I hear that Whistler guy's kind of an asshole. He hasn't talked to me or Doreen yet, but he's basically talking to everyone in camp at this point. He seems to think we all are involved in some kind of, I don't know, some Fae, I don't know. These Corellans, they're on a whole other level.
Fucking Fae conspiracy. Yeah, I mean, they're always suspicious about everyone because they think they're the only ones who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Just, just try not to get on his bad side and just stay away from him as much as you can. Finish your time and
I
hopefully
hope
you're out of this settlement soon, because but I think he'll be gone sooner than later.
Ugh, I hope so. It's weird around here, weird energy, but whatever. I think I saw
now that he's here especially.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I saw Lou. Where would you be, Lou, around this time of day? It's like 7, 8.
Yeah. Lou's usually she's in the kitchen tent. I think that since their last talk, she's been kind of putting off tasks to other people more and like just sitting at like the little table, like kind of like writing lists and like to-dos just in case
Recipes,
they do end up leaving.
order lists. This is what we do. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah, so Lou is very easy to find, I think, in the back kitchens. And Aoife, what have you been up to now at this point? I know last time I think you were finishing a bunch of projects, right? Right after
So
that interview.
After she had finished up as much work as she could get done for the camp, basically she has been working on a set of clothes for Rook, not knowing now that she has already grown. But that's what she's doing.
Crop top.
Kids, man, they're growing out of everything you get them.
I know. She's grown like maybe 4 inches, put on about 15 pounds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The gap from 10 to 13 is significant age-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. But she is trying to basically get everything in order for like her to-go bag.
Yeah. Okay, so then Aoife then has been spotted drifting around the tent, and then Lou is in the back of the kitchen.
Back of the kitchen it is. Before I leave Bashar and Dorian, though, I'll be like, hey, if you happen to get any mail for me in the meantime, would you mind just holding on to it for a little bit, and then I'll come find you. I just have to run out on a few errands that Captain laid out for me, so
yeah,
I may not.
Doreen is like,
yeah.
What? Why? You're leaving. You can't leave.
No, I'm not leaving. I might be gone for like a night or two. So if there's any mail, just hold on to it.
Well, where are you going? We weren't assigned anywhere. Why do you get to go? It's because I was too slow, wasn't it? Because I was tired. I didn't say I was tired, but I was like sweating and I was really nasty, and I just knew that Imdra could tell.
Well, Doreen, you're going to get plenty of missions. You're going to go out. And at some point, you got to go out by yourself like I am now. So you're going to have to get used to this.
She looks at you, again with those big eyes just full of regret for signing up for the military.
We've all worked with a Doreen.
Okay, you've gotten stronger every day. You'll be great.
Okay, well, have fun, I guess. Look forward to seeing you again. Don't forget about us.
I'll be back.
Okay.
I won't. Gives her like a noogie.
Yeah. Oh, God, stop. She fixes her braids. All right, yeah, and then you can certainly head back. People don't stop you as you head back. Things are so chaotic right now because all these people that Lou has been training up are now trying to deal with the dinner rush. So it's like, I don't know, it's like soup plantation night right after they've hired all their employees. If that's a very specific San Diego reference. Or like hometown buffet, that kind of. Anyway.
Yeah.
Big chain restaurant after a new wave of hires. So you can just creep around that chaos and go back into the back area.
Okay. Peeping in. Lou, it's Tony. You around?
Yeah. Come in. And she's like meticulously like wrapping a cast iron skillet and like a pot and like separating like sourdough starters into 2 jars. Like
this is the reliable one and this is the fun one.
What's going on?
So, she looks around, makes sure nothing's around.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like anyone's around.
Rook is around. We have a ride out of here for that mission she invited us on. And I think it's about time we head out of here. Grab Aoife and go. So do you have your stuff? Would you be ready to go pretty soon?
Yeah, I'm ready, but if you could help me, cast iron is really the best because it really distributes the heat. It's very fucking heavy.
I mean, sure, we'll grab like a couple, just like one or two.
Four.
And the Dutch oven.
All right. I mean,
Okay, two.
I haven't been in her place, so I don't know. She's got to be stocked somehow. She's traveling all this time. So
yeah, you think a
but
13-year-old kid has a sick cast iron pot collection?
collection,
perfectly seasoned.
Yeah,
she's
right.
You know
Yeah,
what?
she's clearly
have good taste. She's growing fast. She's maturing
Also,
fast.
we know she's no regular 13, I mean 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she'll just be like, okay. She'll take like a moderately sized Dutch oven, definitely not like the cauldron of a Vise that she uses normally.
Yeah.
And then her skillet, and then just like she has like a very nice like small chest that is filled with spices, and her sourdough starter, and that is the bare minimum.
The bare minimum. Oh. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I've got all your stuff. We're good to go. Let's go grab Aoife.
Okay.
So you head on over, and Aoife,
She
what
just,
do
like-
they? Yeah. What do they find you in the middle of when they show up?
You see Aoife has a stack of like recently repaired canvas sacks like just towering in her arms that she's very awkwardly trying to hand off to this like really like acne faced boy who they're just having the most like horrendous awkward exchange ever as she's like trying to hand him this stack of paper.
Okay. Oh, no. I don't know if I got them all.
Just hold still. I'll tie them to you.
Yeah. Oh.
She'll take one. She'll like
Okay.
wrap it around his super skinny body.
Yeah, so I was thinking, Aoife, if you're not doing anything later, maybe we should get a drink sometime.
No, that's what are you? Sure, let's get that drink tomorrow.
Okay, great. I'll just take these over.
Yeah, right over there, and she'll give a little pat on the butt, like
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I'll get going. This kid walks
There
off.
you go, kid. It'll put hairs on your chest.
Oh boy. So you both approach as Aoife finishes this exchange.
Hello there, little heartbreaker.
Oh, Jimmy's fine.
Oh, Jimmy.
Oh, well, Jimmy may not be fine when he comes back and sees that you're not here.
Are we
We
leaving?
gotta go. Yeah.
Okay, I have my stuff. And she'll like dive into the tent and she'll come up with like a just big, like ridiculous, like crocheted backpack basically full of stuff. And you see like knitting needles are like poking out of the top end. And there's like dangling from the sides on the outside are just like skeins of yarns of different colors.
Oh, wow. This is like a travel pack yarn store disaster. I love it.
Yeah. That's the most dysfunctional sack I've ever seen.
Whoa!
I've had this thing. It's the first thing I ever made.
Oh, well,
Oh, we
it's
can tell.
charming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she does. And so be like, all right, I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's go. We gotta head back out through the camp, so maybe let's keep our distance. from one. I mean, I know it's kind of hectic outside, but let's not, storm out of here. We're casual.
Oh yeah,
we're casual.
Yeah.
Totes cash, got it.
Okay, totes cash. What kind of skills would you all like to use individually as you totes cash make your way out of camp? Especially
Petition to have a casual skill check.
Okay, I think that would be diplomacy. Is that persuasion? Oh, diplomacy isn't a thing. Persuasion, maybe.
Oh no.
Or performance.
Not for me.
Performance.
Okay.
Aoife will definitely be doing a performance, and she's just
yeah.
like chatting to everyone.
Yeah, Lou, you could totally do stealth just to be unavoided. It's whatever you all think your characters would do to just get out of this
I think
party.
honestly, it's more of like a sleight of hand than a stealth. Just trying to juggle all this shit that she's bringing with her, not letting like it drop and not being too obvious about it.
Okay. I will accept it.
16.
Okay. Lose 16. Aoife, what did you get? I'm sure your performance is ridiculous.
She got a 14 for her performance.
Okay. And Tony, what are you using to just slide on out of here?
No, I kind of want to argue that, like, she's probably just mimicking the behavior of everyone else, being a little bit chaotic around and being already in her soldier garb. It's probably a lot easier for her to blend in. So I don't even know what skill to use for that, but I kind of want to argue that she doesn't need to.
Sure. I think Tony, you're probably used to walking with purpose through things. I will accept that. I think this is your natural element. You are a military person in a military camp, so I will accept it. So you all make your individual paths and ways and find yourself outside officially of this rapidly erecting wall that is enclosing this area here in this field next to kind of this tree that Tony was posted up in, which is pretty much the only scraggly tree for about half a mile until you get to the tropical forest proper. So you're standing here now on this muddy ground. And Tony, for you, this whole time, it's been really weird because the minute you put that stuff on your eyes that Rook gave you, again, it's like you're seeing the aura around everything. It's like if you're looking at things with your eyes squinted, the way light travels around things. It's all very shiny and strange. And that effect is now starting to dissipate a little bit for you. But yeah, you're here in this moment, and you all hear like a whistle come from a couple of these rigid hills over. A bird call.
We didn't talk about a call, but I'll try to mimic it and return it.
And Rook will pop up over a couple hills and go, "That was terrible. That was just really awful. We're gonna have to work on a signal if this is ever gonna work."
We never talked about a signal, but yeah, fine.
That's like basic. Whatever. Okay, so you all ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. These guys need to, mud up for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Well, where are
Come
the
here and put
horses,
this.
though? You said there was transportation.
Yeah. No,
Well,
come
you
here
need
and rub this on your eyes and don't smell it too much.
Well, before my hands get really gross, and you can see like Aoife is like sizing up Rook now, clearly looking at her, moving
she
around,
looks different.
looking
Lou
at her
and
body.
Aoife, you're both like, whoa, significantly different than before. Again, the baby fat has receded. Her features have kind of smoothed out. She's taller, awkwardly tall, you would say now at this point.
And Aoife is just I hope these will still fit. And then she'll, dig into her big giant knapsack and will pull out a set of clothes and hand them to Rook and be like, Well, I made these for you so that they would fit you, but you seem to have a growth spurt, so I hope they still fit you. It should be. I can let them out. It's fine.
And Rook seems
I just
totally taken aback by this, and she looks down at the clothes and looks up at you, and all of you don't need any kind of skill to see, like, Rook looks panicked and confused and says, "What do you want for these? I didn't ask you for these."
Oh, no, I don't want anything. I mean, you're letting us ride off with you, which is, that's, quite good. But, I thought you might like wearing something that fits you. Because, I mean, I know, like, I'm the eldest, so I've had to deal with my siblings' hand-me-downs and giving them off their, whole lives. And,
And she's shaking her head like, no. And she's like, I don't know you well enough to accept this. Okay? And she kind of just throws them back at you into the middle of your chest in a very strange, panicked gesture.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I know I'm a fae and shit, but she'll take them and she'll like stuff them angrily into her bag and like and kind of huff over to Lou.
Lou just kind of like pats her back and she's like, they were really nice garments. Maybe later.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll shrink again.
Yeah, and I mean, you see that Rook, maybe if you want to make an insight check now, Aoife, on it, like now that the initial reaction has passed, to try and figure out what the hell's going on.
Oh, that's pretty good. That is a 16.
Okay. So as you're looking at Rook and dealing with it, because she's still really, panic is primarily, and fear is what her response is to you trying to give her a gift. You're not sure exactly what that is, but you don't think it has necessarily anything to do with the fact that you are a satyr. It's just the whole concept of gift giving seems to have wigged her out completely, and she's just shutting down. She doesn't even understand how to react in this situation. Which is definitely not a normal, like, people from the plains don't react like this to gifts. So this is very odd. This is not a social moray you have encountered.
But the horses, where we have a ride, so
wait, why do we have to put this shit in our eyes?
I'm not putting that shit on my eyes.
That's the whole thing. You have to do. Tony, tell them.
Oh, you do this, and then you bond with the.
No, you don't bond with it, but you can see it. You can see it when you put the stuff on your eyes.
See it.
Because it doesn't really exist.
And then we need to bond with it.
Yes, that's the leader.
But you need this to see it because
it's
really
it's
cool.
right here.
It's really.
But you can't see it until you put the shit on your eyes.
Even though the thing is wearing
off. Well, it's like right over there because I didn't want it to be. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's parked right over there. You cannot see it now. You have to walk over a couple hills, but presumably you could see it.
Lou will take the vial and give it a whiff and just.
Ooh, that was a mistake. You have smelled chicken shit before, and this is absolutely what it is.
I'm not putting that on my eyes. Are you kidding me?
You have to, otherwise you can't see it and you can't get on it, and then we can't escape, and then Whistler will get you, and it'll be a whole thing. Oh, come on. You're only going to help me hunt Fae. If you can't even do this, you're never going to last. Not even one day.
My nose is very delicate. It's the one thing. Okay. Okay.
Tony's gonna grab it and rub it on their face. Can I do like a strength or whatever to do it for them?
I don't know. It depends. Lou, are you resisting that? Tony sticks a big finger in the poop and like tries to come at your eye.
The literal poop.
Yeah.
She's gonna try to dodge out of the way.
Okay, let's do a I guess opposed grapple checks. So Tony, that'll be a strength. Yeah, so an athletics versus
19.
an acrobatics, Lou, I'm assuming.
I got an 18.
Oh boy,
I
it's a
get
struggle to the
poop-eyed.
death.
I'm gonna get pink eye for sure.
It's a struggle to the death, but Lou, you end up like as like just, you know, a finger jams into your eye and kind of smears around. It's worse that you struggled because now there's some of it in your eye, which is so much worse than just on your eyelids. But there you go. And you experience
Go, you'll see it. You'll forget about it.
you experience that same weird effect that Tony has where everything seems really shiny and you can just see rainbow auras around everything. It's wild.
Does my puke have a rainbow aura?
Oh, do you puke?
Yeah, she absolutely puked.
Okay.
She's such a puss.
Your puke does too. Everything does. Everything
Oh,
does.
that's nicer than usual.
Yeah.
Puke I've
Yeah,
ever
it's kind of
seen.
sparkly. Oh, wow.
Well,
Tony
that's kinda
moves
nice.
to go and do it for Aoife as well, but gives her an opportunity
Yeah.
to be like, nah.
Yeah, Aoife like swats your hands away, like in that like very sibling sort of gesture
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
get the fuck away from me, and she'll big inhale and hold her breath and smear shit on her face.
Yay! Those are my adventurers. And then Rook is just watching this all like, okay, well, yeah, let's head on over. Great job, I guess. And she will crest the
This
nearest
isn't what I
ridge.
look for in getting shit faced.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the opposite of all the fun of being shit-faced. So you can
He
all...
told you not to smell it.
I did. I did tell you not to smell it, and you did it anyway. So it would have been better if you just listened to me without question from now on, honestly. Like Tony. She questions literally nothing. She's great.
Tony!
Hey, I mean, I feel like we've bonded at this point. We got sucked underground together. You followed me, had me rub chicken shit on my eyes.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
did.
Still alive. So
It is
what
chicken
do I have
shit.
to complain about?
You're right. But it's from the house, so that's why you can see it. Come on.
Wait,
And you know what?
what
It's
does it
totally worth
eat?
it. It's totally worth it.
Oh my god. All right.
So you
I
both...
think they're shitting us.
I think. Oh no. So you follow after Rook and Tony, who seem to know where they're going, and you all suddenly see it. This house suspended up on these two legs. Now, it's squatted down a little bit lower, as if it's waiting for you all, but it perks back up to attention when you all look at it. And it turns to you, you know, it's painted shutters, which are white with these beautiful little flower patterns, very like cottagecore, swing open. And you see the glowing orange lights again, staring at you all.
Aoife, this is what I was talking about. This is the opposite end of shit magic. Look at this fucking thing. I mean, we have shit on our eyes, but I mean, other than that, this is incredible.
Yeah, Aoife has her mouth just like completely just agape, and she's just like, "Oh my god, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen!" And she's just like running to it, and then it's like, and then takes like 4 steps, and it's like, and
Yeah,
like
because the
stops, and
chicken
then, like,
takes a step
creeps.
back too. The legs don't really know. It's not aggressive. It seems afraid of you as you get closer. So the house
Mhm.
steps back a little bit and looks down directly at you.
Then yeah, she'll slow to a very gentle and like creeping halt with her hands up. It's like, "Oh my god, what's your name? Do you talk? Are you real?"
The house can't talk. It's like a chicken house, Rook says, and it's like, okay, you know what? Come on, we're just
Duh.
down, she says, and points at the house and points at the ground. Down. And the house folds its legs underneath itself like a hen that is roosting and kind of crashes down, leaving now the door about a 5-foot jump up from the ground. So it's much more accessible to reach. So, and you can see this painted blue, like powder blue door. It looks very cute with, the white paint on the house with all these little decorative flower details. And the shutters close again. And the house seems to, from a distance, you could probably mistake it for a normal house at this point.
Tony wants to barrel right the fuck in there and swings open the front door, gives it like a little pat, like I'm coming in.
Hey.
and wants to enter.
Yeah, so you do, and you throw open this door, and you see a very quaint living room inside. It looks very similar to those like Airbnb log cabin experiences that you might see. So it's like luxury Airbnb where everything is, it's nice and quaint and wood inside. And you see a roaring fireplace, a mantle that is decorated with all kinds of house plants and gourds that have been artistically arranged. The space has lots of very comfortable but chic furniture spaced all around it. You can immediately see that to the right, there's a very open kitchen that has one of those windows so people in the kitchen can look onto the living room for entertaining with like a little counter. You see that there is a hallway that leads off into the back that has several doors around it, as well as a set of steps leading upwards. And right now, there are candles that have been arranged around the room to give a very pleasing atmosphere. The fire is lit. There's nice rugs on the floor. It's a truly beautiful, cozy little space.
Yeah, I would make the shit out of this place on Sims.
Yes.
Or even my software at work, because I work for West Elm and we have room planners. I could build this shit at work.
Listen, cottagecore living or whatever the hell it's called, that expansion just came out on Sims. So many chickens.
Oh shit. All right. While you all do your reaction takes as you climb in here, I'm going to refill my drink. Be right back.
I think Lou just like comes in and immediately just like arms out of my way is like, look at this kitchen. And like takes all of her assortment of stuff and just like looks around and sets it down. She's like, I'm never leaving. You will not be able to get me out of this place. Tony, how did you keep this secret the entire time you were talking to us? I would have immediately just...
I haven't been inside this place yet. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't have come back if I had.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
I just saw it, was like, holy shit, it's amazing. I gotta go get them. And brought you straight over here.
Oh my goodness.
But Tony wants to run in and immediately look for the biggest bedroom because she gonna need
it. You're one long gal.
I've been living on a cot in a tent for like 5 years, so I am done, and I'm in a house now, so give me the biggest fucking bedroom there is.
Oh my god, yeah, Aoife is just like screaming and pointing at everything and just like in utter delight, like everything. She's just so taken aback by every single little detail, and she has never had her own bedroom before, so this is an insane experience.
Well, hopefully there's room for us to each have our own bedroom. It is small, so we may have to share, everybody, but I'm fine with sleeping on the floor if need be.
It's the house on chicken legs. Are you telling me there aren't any magic secret rooms we can't just like add here? We gotta sleep on the floor? I don't think
I've
so.
never been in a chicken house. Maybe that's the caveat is it's all magic and fun, but you have to sleep on the fucking floor.
But it is the size of a chicken. No. So Rook scrambles up after you all and immediately does that thing of a person who has lived alone for a while and is way too comfortable with that. Just takes off like her muddy cloak and armor and kind of throws her weapons on the floor around the door, and lounges down into one of these chairs and says, "No, the house is like super magical. So it's, I don't know, what do you want? Open up a door."
What do I mean, look at this kitchen. What do I want? There's more.
Told you didn't need all your goddamn cast iron shit.
Listen, I have seasoned these to perfection. I don't care how magical this place is. It's not going to be the same.
Oh, there's a kitchen?
You mean there wasn't a kitchen? What did you eat? What did you eat?
Like,
do you eat?
Yeah, like mushrooms and stuff and snacks. What do you eat?
I'm gonna... And she just starts like taking out like some of her knives in this kitchen and like starts like taking, just like she brought like fundamentals in her oversized backpack and it's like, what? Hold on. And
Rook,
just starts cooking.
Yeah, follows you with genuine curiosity as she pokes her head into the kitchen and looks in wonder around going, this definitely wasn't here before. So, I don't know. Shrugs.
I love this place.
Yeah, it's sort of, I just kind of open up things and they're there if I need them. Or so my room's upstairs and it's kind of my space. So like, while it's all great and cool that you all work for me or whatever, I'd really like if you didn't go in my room.
All right, boss, as long as I get to live here. Just keeps like opens up a drawer and is like thinking to herself like bacon.
It is a fucking magically refrigerated door that has cured slices of bacon on ice, perfect temperature for preservation. And it's that thick cut good shit, not any of that wimpy rations you've been dealing with.
A literal tear falls down her cheek.
Rook's like, you're being really weird about this kitchen.
It's fine. I have one thing. This is it. Just let me have it.
And Rook will look back at Aoife and Tony like, I don't know what to do here. So yeah, I guess if you want to open a door and pick a room,
my own room?
Yeah.
Like a whole room that's just for me. That no one else can go into unless I invite them in.
Yeah, those are the rules for my room. So if you can understand that, that's good.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've been praying for my whole feckin' life. And she's going to run immediately down the hallway and just throw open the first door she finds.
All right. Aoife, what did you hope in your heart that a bedroom made just for you would look like? Maybe you didn't even consciously know what it was, but this door opens onto what your heart desires.
So she throws open this door and you see this bedroom where everything is just white and pink. It's pink walls with a white ceiling with a white like canopy bed with the pink netting over it. And over in the corner is an area where that's like the perfect shelving system to store all of her arts and crafts.
There's
things.
Like so many pegboards and they all have, oh, they're perfect. They're beautiful.
Like perfect arrays of bobbins and basically and like a hand crank sewing machine and did she like and a big chest that's full of crocheted throws.
Yeah, so that's what you see when you open up this door. What does Aoife do?
She just like her shoulders just like drop so low that her bag just like falls off of her body like onto the ground and stuff just like spills out, and she goes and she just belly flops onto the bed and like bounces a couple of times and just like grabs the pillow and is rolling around with it like clenched to her chest, and she's like, it's my own room.
Oh, this is so sweet.
So cute.
And Tony, what I think Rook will see this, take this all in stride, decide she wants none of it, and goes back to she's gonna, I guess, go into the kitchen now, and kind of look around confused, until she finds one of these ice drawers, Lou, and sort of shoves you out of the side and opens it up, and there's going to be like a big glass container with an amber colored liquid in it. She'll take it out, find a glass, pour a very tall drink for herself, and go sit by the fireplace in one of these big chairs.
The last vial you had was shit. What is that? Piss?
No, this is booze, obviously. Why would I drink piss? No, I figured, I mean,
Why
now we
would
have
I
a
rub
kitchen,
shit
I
up your
guess.
eyes?
It never really occurred to me, but, you know. I was like, oh, some maid would be good, or whatever.
Okay, well, that changes everything. If you're having meat, I have to totally restart this dinner. I was thinking wine, but how old are you again?
How old are you?
90 something.
Cool, that's good for you. And she goes and sits over in her chair.
Okay, well, it's gonna taste totally different when you're having it with my dinner, okay? Just don't, I trust you. Keep it in the house.
Whatever. Sip comes from the living room. So, Tony, are you throwing open a door?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. She runs in wanting to find like the biggest bedroom she can after living on a cot and in a tent for like 5 years. But is a little surprised slash so happy to open a door to what is pretty much identical to her yurt on her family's land.
Cool.
That they kind of like unpack and rebuild every time they move around. It's just on a bigger scale because she was 5 years younger and has grown like a full foot since she left home.
Yeah, and it's all yours
so
now
it's
too.
Yeah, it's a lot of like it's a very round room, wood beams, and a large mattress with like lamb skins, sheep skins, things like that. A lot of animal furs and coats around, like lining the floor and the walls, even some horseshoes on the walls, a couple plants in there already that she immediately runs over to inspect and like check on their health, and and then notices that the drawing that Geo made of her horse's pony is already framed up on the wall, and she like starts to tear up a little bit, and it just kind of like lays there in bed and thinks about home for a little while.
Yeah. And I think you'll notice the plants are in really good condition, but you know that if you did something to make them a little bit better, they would get better. So it's like they just don't have quite enough water that you can fix that, or like you need to do a little more fertilizer. So it's like appealing to your need to take care of plants. That's the level this house is operating on. Things aren't perfect. Wow. They're
Damn.
Yeah. They're appealing to that. And Rook lets you all do your respective things and kind of calls out eventually, so do you all have like no questions? Or I mean, that's cool, I guess.
You told You can just hear Aoife calling out from her room, you told us not to ask questions.
Oh, well, like, now is the time to ask. So I guess you're all officially employees or... Yeah, okay, you know what? Actually, everybody come out. Everybody come out. Everybody come out to the living room, she yells. Whatever that
like,
is, she
brings,
points
like,
at
a tray
Tony.
with her.
Yeah, like, no, stop. Stop that.
It's thirsty. She's like, keep watering a plant.
Yeah, no, and Lou, what is that? Stop. Put that down.
Well, you gotta stuff the chicken, cause then it won't.
Oh my
Okay.
God, you're making chicken. She whispers to you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. She's like screaming to the house. She just puts it back into the drawer. Why did you give it to me if it was not cool to eat? Fish, fish, fish.
Rook's just nodding negative with her head in her hands, like, my God. Oh my God.
Are you eating the house? Is that a thing?
I would never.
I don't
I
know.
didn't.
Okay,
But
all right, circle
there
up,
was
circle
me
up.
and I just. Oh.
Okay, and Rook indicates for you all to sit in chairs around the fireplace, and she takes a moment. Well, now that all that excitement has passed. So, great. It's all great that you all wanted to come on this journey. Cool, fine. But I do have to insist, this isn't fun times. This isn't party fun, whatever the hell you do in the Plains or the Eldrin Empire. You're here to work. Do you understand that? My job is hunting down Fae, killing them, and collecting bounties. And all of you are going to be helping me do that. So you're here to work. Just because you took down one Fae doesn't mean you're going to make it in this industry. Okay? So don't get too full of yourselves and don't start having a good time before things get hard. Can you take the heat? She says and points a little preteen finger at you all.
Yes, chef. I am in the kitchen.
What's our cut?
Oh.
Well, for now, until I get things kind of back on track, our cut is going to be evenly divided for supplies, for arms, for equipment, because obviously all of this, and she waves at you all, this is not acceptable for fighting Fae. You're rookies right now. So we're going to head to Coven. We're going to collect our first bounty from the Takanid. We're going to get paid. We're going to get you some good shit, and we're going to get another job. Because honestly, we're probably not going to get paid very much for this one. Rinse and repeat.
Okay. Yes, copy that.
Everybody cool with that?
Yeah.
All right. So, obviously, none of you have ever been to the Fate before, so there's probably going to be a big learning curve here. That's what I get for bringing on rookies. But in my situation, y'all are kind of my only options. So, I guess you're cool until we get to Coven, but we'll start dealing with that as you go along. If you have any questions, I guess I can answer them.
Aoife immediately raises her hand.
Oh, God, what?
What's Coven? I've never heard of that.
Coven is a neutral town in the Fae, in the wilds. It's like the only safe place you can basically go. It's ruled by witches that kind of keep everything out, so the courts can't go there. So it's
real witches? Witches are real?
Oh my God, this was a horrible mistake.
Well, okay. If we're going, I mean, I have learned some things. First things first, right? We should all come up with names for ourselves since we can't use our own names.
Yes, code names would be good.
Oh.
Code names, yes. What, Aoife? What?
She's raising her hand again. Who's the Takanid?
Oh, that was the fae we killed. I did some research on it. Basically, a hybrid bug plant thing implants itself into human hosts or, mortal hosts to spawn more. Should bring in a pretty fair price. It's probably one of the fae that's been running around from the war, so,
She raises her hand again.
Oh my god, what?
Who do you sell the fae to? Like, why do they want bounties? Who's putting out bounties? I have so many questions. I'm so sorry.
Okay. The witches who live at Coven, right? Okay, they rule at Coven, and all around them, all these other fae, courts. It's all kinds of bullshit and politics. And so the witches need to, keep things safe and protect things, make people, not send. She waves a hand at Tony, shit like you and your people into the wilds. So any fae that just starts killing mortals or being a problem, there's always a pretty big bounty to collect on fae like that. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna collect bounties. That's how I make my living. So now all of you, this is how we make our living. This is how we pay the chicken bills.
Pay bills for this chicken?
Well, doesn't have a face. Where's its bill?
And what does it eat if it poops?
I regret everything.
I'll only ask questions one. I won't repeat them.
So to be perfectly clear, I'm also quite new to this arrangement, but these houses are, this is premium stuff. That's why our first task, we're going to go to Coven, we're going to sell our bounty. Hopefully we're going to make enough to bond you all, to buy all the stuff to bond you to the house so you don't have to rub the bird shit on your eyes every single time. Because this thing, it doesn't... Okay, I'm not really sure how it works, but it doesn't really travel in normal space. It's like in between. It like lives on ley lines, which are like highways of magic. Right? That makes sense. And you can tell rook to rook, it doesn't really make sense. When she's explaining
I've only ever
this.
heard of vaguely something like that, but if that's, I'm in a chicken house, so sure, it makes sense,
right?
I guess,
and
for a chicken
it moves
house.
fast. And it's basically invisible to everybody who doesn't have that on their eyes or isn't bonded to it. So it's a super safe way to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good get that now I'm hoping to, sort of capitalize on. But it definitely put us a little in the red. So
did you get this from the pretty naked ladies?
No, they don't. No.
Oh.
They're a whole other thing. But anyway, no, I got it from a witch at Coven who I helped / won it from. It's a long story. But anyway, it's ours now. So
all right. Actually, speaking of those ladies, they seem to know you. Is that any part of why you are, older now? Because of them?
And she does go quiet, kind of looks at her hands. I think we'll get there, but I don't know if I want to tell you everything right now. But yes, they had a lot to do with my current predicament, which is the only reason I've considered bringing on help, to be quite frank. In my condition, I can't exactly do everything I could do before. So.
Sure. Whenever you're interested in talking about it, that's fine. I only ask because, I happen to kiss one of them, so I'm still waiting on some kind of side effect if there are any, and that just kind of came to mind, so no pressure.
Honestly, I don't know. And that's something you all are going to have to kind of get used to for dealing with the Fae. There's some fucked up shit that happens. Their magic is nothing like what you're used to on, I guess your normal world, whatever that's like. But it's in a whole different league. It's not predictable. It's not textbook. It's not something you can go to a library and get all the answers. You're just going to have to deal with it day by day and deal with the penalties of that.
Sick. All right. Good to know.
So, I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you want to, quit now. But you should let me know before you're bonded to the house, because Gordon will get really upset if you leave.
She reaches out and touches the couch and it's like, Gordon, I love you.
Oh, no. Oh, no. The house doesn't have a name. Gordon is the thing that takes care of it. Oh, yes. Rook says, Gordon, come out. And you look around the room and nothing really seems to change.
Do I have to put more shite on my eyes?
No, he's just kind of he's kind of weird. I don't think he likes me very much. What are passive perceptions? One more time now that we're level 2.
Ooh.
11. No. 13.
11.
13.
Okay. So I think then Lou and Aoife at the same time you would notice. So just above there's this roaring fireplace and this mantle that's decorated with all these vines and decorative fall gourds. And one of these pumpkins has been carved like a jack-o'-lantern face, and it just lights up all of a sudden. Nothing else changes. There's no other movement. But the face lights up, and you can see the triangular eyes and this strange smile now burning on the mantle.
Time out. You dared tell me you don't like puns, and you've named a pumpkin Gordon?
I'm sorry, Rook named the pumpkin Gordon. I didn't do that. Rook enjoys puns because she's the worst. So...
I'm sorry. Carry on.
Gordon! She waves.
At this lighted jack-o'-lantern now on the thing. And you all hear a ha 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 ha. That's my name. Coming from the jack-o'-lantern on the mantle.
Oh, look at this wee lad. Oh my goodness, come here.
You want me to come over there? Do you, young mortal?
Yeah.
Okay. And you see this burst of viney growth that emerges from the bottom of this pumpkin and just trails out of the base of it, winding together to form this very eerie, like a stick figure body that's been made of vines. You see this pumpkin-headed thing crawls down from this mantle place and stands there now. It only stands about 3 feet tall. As it wobbles towards you, the glowing eyes flickering dangerously as this pumpkin-headed thing stands beside your chair. What is your name, little satyr?
Oh, you're going to be my best mucker. I just know my name's, and you see she takes a very audible pause. Saoirse. And then looks at Rook with thumbs up.
Rook gives you like a sad, half-hearted thumbs up. We've definitely already said our names in here, but that's okay. And this thing, it wobbles its head, flops to one side, then the other, and suddenly it moves very, very quickly. And you see the vine extend the neck of this thing like a snake. So its jack-o'-lantern eyes are staring directly into yours, about an inch away from your nose. And it says, "You are not grandmother filth."
Oh my god, she is so fucking alarmed. Like, she goes and like hides behind Tony.
And yeah, it retreats its like snake vine head and goes, "Haha, new guests. How fun." Rook is sitting there in her chair with her arms crossed.
Is
Looking at you
grandmother
all.
Filth who you won the house from?
Yes, and I can't seem to convince Gordon that that is true. So on the bad days,
Oh.
it gets a little bad.
All right.
Tell her to tell him that it's yours when we get to Coven.
What, the house?
Is grandmother at Coven?
Yeah, no, she is. No, he knows. He just, I don't think he's quite all there.
I'll process things in our own time.
Yeah, and Gordon spreads out his vine hands and kind of waves them around. He does form them into very floppy little dancy hands and strides towards you all and says, "Ah, it is so lovely to have guests again. You do all know the rules, don't you?"
Would you tell us?
"Yes. If you are going to live in my house, the rules are never open a door unless you are prepared to see what is inside. That is the first rule. The second rule, never let me out of the house. That rule is not mine. That is from Grandmother Filth. 3, wipe off your boots when you come inside, because mud is disgusting."
Unacceptable.
I love him so much.
That is all. Enjoy your stay. And
Thank
he
you, Gordon.
pulls up all his vine limbs into himself, and just a orange pumpkin is left sitting by the fireplace on the floor with the carved face, and the lights have gone out.
Lou has like a little notebook that she carries with herself, and she just like takes out a pen slowly and writes, "No chicken, no pumpkin."
Beware
Gets
pumpkin.
up.
And now that you look around the living room, there are an awful lot of decorative pumpkins just around this space. Sort of an alarming amount, if you had to say.
Oh, no.
Tony just wants to pick up Gordon and put him back on the mantle.
Mm. Nice.
And then she's going to go check her bedroom to see if there are any little pumpkins in there. If there are,
Yeah.
remove them.
Yeah, there are a couple that have been like artistically arranged in corners. So you can
They can go somewhere else.
Yeah, you put them out. You could put them back on the mantle by the front door. You swear you hear a "oh" sound when you lift them up.
Oh, well, I don't care.
Well, I don't care. You're a nightmare. Thank you.
Well,
Rick's like, yeah, like I said, I don't exactly know what his deal is. I'm pretty new here too. But he's clearly bound to the house and not super happy about it, so I really suggest we follow rule 2. again,
Gotcha.
grandmother filth, she's sort of an alcoholic, so it's hard to really get the full story about anything, but, you know, who knows? She was quite an adventurer in her heyday.
How long have you been in this chicken house?
Ooh, I got it. What time system do you all use in the material plane?
Not DR, but
Oh yeah. I guess probably like 2 months your time. Yeah, so not super long, and I've been pretty busy. So you know, because I'm busy and have a lot of business that I do. So,
Speaking of your business, what brought you to our camp in the first place? What were you on a bounty or?
Yeah, no, I heard some creatures from the Blossom Court have been fleeing the war, so there's just kind of a general bounty out on that. So I was hunting around and I found, you know, your friend had disappeared, and honestly, I mean, meeting you all was just an accident, but, you know, you are all desperate enough to come with me and you lived. So that's better than I can say for most mortals I've encountered. Which is why you're hired.
So nice. All right. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna finish this dinner.
Yeah. For sure. I guess I'll just I'm fine with whatever is happening there. I'm just gonna go up to my room and, like I said, don't ever bother me when I'm in there. And don't piss off Gordon. Especially
Fair.
until you're bonded to the house. I honestly don't know if he can hurt you before that point. So, you know,
Oh god.
just keep an eye out, I guess, for pumpkins, vines. Sometimes he can appear in squash. So maybe just avoid all root vegetables.
Root vegetable. She turns and like walks away, adding it to her list.
gourds.
Gourds.
Oh no,
Oh.
we've got to have potatoes.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, well, I'm gonna go to sleep. Don't do any. We're heading right now to. Oh, Gordon, take us to Coven. And you see the fireplace like whooshes up and glows a variety of rainbow colors. You don't feel anything happen.
Don't go to sleep yet because I'm gonna cook for you.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm really tired, so I should just, you know, it's late.
Dinner will
so.
be in an hour.
No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just. She's walking upstairs and don't bother me. Like I said, I'm gonna go. Don't
Don't
bother
worry,
me.
We know not to disturb a growing girl.
Ha.
She's grounded.
Right. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. And you hear a thunk of wood and then a shh of a deadbolt and a shh of another deadbolt from up the stairs.
Cool. Now that the weirdos are gone, Tony
Gordon's
jumps
still
over the couch,
you know.
and just starts strumming on her guitar.
Any dietary restrictions at all? Now I guess
Nah.
the meat doesn't matter anymore. So I guess I'm just making whatever I want at this point.
Rook took the meat up for sure
Yeah.
with her to her room.
Oh, I'm a vegetarian.
Okay. Perfect. Tony, you anything?
Nope. I'll eat it all.
Okay, perfect. Finally.
Standing in this beautiful culinary kitchen, you all hear a silent, haha, we're gonna have so much fun together, comes from one of the pumpkins on the mantle. And that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode. Oh, fun!
I got
Oh.
really excited when I heard about a jack-o'-lantern, household companion, and now I'm really creeped out.
He's the worst.
Well, some days he's probably really cool. Maybe.
As long as you wipe your boots off.
Yeah, maybe if you get to know him a little bit better and respect his rules, everything will be fine.
We got that. We're on that.
I hope like a year from now, our Halloween adventure is that Gordon got out.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't do that. Y'all know I'm a fan of the Garth Nix novels, so Gordon, some Mogget, who knows?
Oh my god, I love Mogget.
Yes, well, thank you all so much for being here, for joining us for episode 5 of the podcast. Things are really kicking off. We're gonna get into, the town of Coven. We're gonna go full on into the wilds and really kick some bounty hunting off. So I'm so stoked to have you all here. But before we end things tonight, we've got something to do, one of our special moments here. So we are going to have a flashback scene, which is the first time we've done this, but this is one of our options. It's either going to be a flashback scene, a letter, or a dream. So before I let you all go, Aoife, I want to explore a moment that has happened with you when you were about 8 years old. So about 8 years ago in the context of this. And this is one of those nights where your parents have been back for quite a while on one of their longer visits. Their routine visits they do where they come home and they get to visit. But tonight, or I guess this morning, is when they're scheduled to leave. Really, really early in the morning. That's always how they do it. They sneak out before everybody wakes up. They say, have a big night, say their goodbyes. So you're 8 years old at this point. How many of your siblings have been born by now? You're probably not the, the eldest of 5 or 6 at this point.
Definitely not yet. I think at 8 years old, I think she has her one younger sister, who is 2 years younger than her. Her younger sister Soisha, and so what Aoife does every time she gets to see her parents is like she will sit up like as a guard at the door, and like so that she can try and stop them from leaving, but always what inevitably happens is she falls asleep and is curled into a ball onto the ground just like in front of the door. And her parents, like her dad always has to pick her up and like we'll put her like back onto like the couch and tuck her in with the blanket.
Yeah, so it's one of those mornings, and I think you've been through this a few times now. So what is it like? What is the general, when your parents are visiting, what does that time period look like for your household?
Definitely, they always come back with a bag full of just like odds and ends and toys and like weird things that they've like picked up from their travels. And her mom would always like try and do like quick sketches of some like interesting things that they saw, so they're like almost like a little postcard. And her dad keeps a journal, and so every time that they set out he buys a new one, and when they come back he gives it to her so that she can read all about his adventures and remember them while they're gone. And so she's always has those to look forward to.
Yeah, so it's been a wonderful visit, and I think you've been through it enough now that you're 8. At least 3 or 4 of these where they go, they come back, they spend a couple of weeks, and then they go again. And you're always happy to see them. You're used to that regularity. It's always hard, but your family has made a big effort to make it joyful. I think your grandparents have always been really encouraging about your parents' artistic pursuits. And that's why you also have been able to grow up so the expectation was always you were going to find your own path, just like your parents did. And whatever was required would be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of those integral kind of journeys for you as you're 8 years old and you find yourself, you've had a wonderful night with your parents. They've given you their final parting gifts and you tried your hardest, your very, very hardest to stay awake through the night. But as you are snuggled into, a knitted, handmade Afghan in this corner of this big cozy couch, it's maybe 4 a.m., 5 a.m. when you were bolted awake by the sounds of people loading something into their wagon just outside of your house. And oh, this is the moment. This is the moment your parents are leaving. What do you do?
I think, she having that one last opportunity. She knows that because the front door that where everyone actually comes, there's the front door, then there's the back door that immediately goes into the kitchen, and the back door is the one that the family actually uses. No one actually uses the front door whatsoever.
It's way too fancy. It's always locked. It's a pain in the ass.
Right, exactly. And exactly, it gets jammed. And so she runs to that back door into that kitchen, and she hops up onto the bench that's right underneath this window, and she's just barely able to pull herself up so that she can look out, and she sees her parents hopping into the back of a colorful covered wagon.
Yeah. And you see that moment right there, where your parents, they've loaded up their trunks and their instruments, and they're hanging out at the back of that wagon now. And they're talking to two people that you can see. There are a bunch of different people moving around. Your parents always are with a bunch of people. That's just sort of the life of entertainers. You've seen different people come and go. They're always colorful. They're always interesting. But these two really stand out to you this time for whatever reason. You see two figures about equivalent in height, maybe 5'7", 5'8", both very tall and lean. One is a tiefling with brownish skin and teal hair, golden eyes, and this long coat that seems to be talking to your parents. And the other is a figure who's completely covered in costuming. At this point, you can see there is no piece of their skin that is exposed. They wear a mask over their face, head to toe, with a lot of diamond harlequin patterns that are honestly incorporated in both of their garb. And they seem to be talking to your parents in this moment. And the figure who has the mask on stands to attention as you look out on this scene and turns their gaze very sharply towards you. And even though it's hard to tell from this distance and they are wearing a mask, that they are looking directly at you. And this figure pulls up a finger and kind of arches it.
And she kind of ducks her head beneath the wall, and then I imagine she would hear from the other side of the door kind of her mom laugh, knowing that someone guess who's awake.
You definitely you hear both your parents kind of mutter, and there's a happy a laugh exchange that happens between these four people as clearly everyone has noticed that this person has noticed.
Yeah, and so she creaks open the door very slowly, and she does a thing where she waits for a second, and then she does that little kid run where she goes and she clamps onto her parents' legs.
Yeah, and your dad is waiting there, Kiernan, as you just run in, and he automatically throws his arms around you and lifts you up on his hip, making the oh sound that dads do when they pretend you're so much heavier than you are. And your mom, Razzlet, is standing there too, just shaking her head of course you're awake. And you can tell that the tiefling woman, who you've never met, you don't know her name, she's a little bit uncomfortable, I guess, around this, kid family situation. So she's hanging back a little bit. But this masked figure looks at you and says, "Little one, what is your name?"
My name's Eva.
Aoife. That's a good name. You know, I'm the person who sends your parents away quite a lot. I hope you don't hate me too much for that.
Oh, well, it's like what we always say, that if you follow your dreams, and if then there will be people who are good and nice who will support you. And at the end of the day, it's just that we love each other that matters. So, I mean, as long as you're being safe and that my parents get to come home, I understand.
You're a good kid. And I think you'll do great. As long as you keep that and you believe that. But I'm sorry to take up so much of your parents' time, and I promise I wouldn't do it unless it was really important. Your parents are doing something really important. Do you understand that?
You can just see her big doughy eyes are beaming as she is just so filled with pride, and is just like, and like clings even like tighter to her dad. And you can start to see these big kind of tears well up in her jewel eyes, and she says, I yeah.
Yeah. And your dad, ruffles your already frizzy, messed up hair from sleeping on the couch for, the last 3 hours. And this figure, they say, well, let me tell you what. I'm going to give you something really, really special. So just in case you ever get worried or you need your parents, if you need to reach them, this little bird will know how to find me. Wherever you are. So as long as you have this, your parents are never too far away. They open their hand, and you see a tiny little blackbird, like a little crow, a rook, one might say, carved from obsidian, that they hand to you.
Oh, and she like takes it and just with this utmost reverence, and scoops it so delicately into her like tiny little like baby fingies. And like this thing is like, for as small as her hands are, practically takes up her whole like grasp, and she just like pulls it to her chest like so tight. I'll take good care of it. What's your name?
I'm Chess. It was good to meet you, Aoife.
Oh, Jess, I like that game. I've been trying to learn it. I think I'll call this bird Bishop.
You do that, Aoife. And with that, your parents give you final squeezes, hugs, say their final goodbyes, and roll off once again. My question for you, Aoife, now, as a 16-year-old, do you still have that little black bird?
Oh, absolutely. She does. She keeps it in a very particular place, within her like main sort of sewing kit box. She has like basically like a cigar box stuffed inside of that inside she has some of her favorite entries from her dad's journals over the years, because she hasn't been able to carry them all. And when she left home for the first time, she didn't want to carry them all and wanted to make sure that they could still be at home and stay safe. But she tore out her favorite ones from over the years that she could continue to read. And there's a sketch that her mom did of their whole family the last time that they were all together. And there is this little obsidian bird that is like very lovingly nested into a piece of her favorite like shimmery sort of like green satin fabric.
Yeah. So that's something else we know about Aoife, that her parents are never too far away. And that's really where we're going to end our episode for today. So thank you, everybody, so much I have been your dungeon master, Celeste Gonowich.
Hi, I'm Katie, and I've been playing Luveri's Staff, your drow rogue.
Oh, you're muted.
I'm Nassim. I've been your half-orc fighter, Tony Silvertail.
And I'm Sage, and I have been your sweet bard, Aoife Flannery.
Sweet baby bard, Aoife Flannery. God, thank you again so much for being here. Before we go, I'm going to read out the names of our wonderful Patreon donors. If you enjoyed the show, we do have a Patreon, which is a wonderful way. If you even laughed, smiled, enjoyed this even just a little bit, you can go over to our Patreon and contribute $1 a month, $5 a month, more, a one-time donation. All proceeds of Patreon go to help grow the show, including, making an awesome campaign book, bringing us back for campaign 2, bringing us that awesome intro that you saw at the beginning, upgrading our audio quality, our visual quality. So if you enjoy the show, please do consider donating via Patreon. These people are wonderful, and they've already done that. So let's go around and say thank you. I'm going to say thank you to Cody Becker at Cody Rolls 4 on Twitter.
I'm going to say thank you to Debbie and her super cute puggies.
And
So
I
cute.
always gotta say thank you to Curry.
And you know what's up? The Muffin Man at the one on Drury Lane, of course, on Twitter.
And thank you so much to Nisa McKinnon.
And to Richie113 from our Discord.
And from our Farrah's drinking mate tier, Ruby. Thank you very much.
Thank you all, everybody who donates. You really, really do keep the lights on for the show. The people who donate at this level, just incredible. We could not be here and doing all of this without all of you. So head on over to the Patreon. Just check out the goodies. You can get there. You can get an entire Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign in audio form. You can get coloring book pages every month. You can get DM notes, GM notes, player notes, all kinds of really, really good shit. Magic items. It's also good. So you rock. I love it. And of course, we'll be back next week with episode 17 of Rime of the Frostmaiden. That's going to be an extra spicy long episode to make up for the fact that we have been off. So definitely the next 2 Rime of the Frostmaiden episodes will be extra long. Definitely check them out. It's going to be good. It's going to be juicy. We're getting towards the end. And then, of course, in 2 weeks on the 22nd, you can catch us back here with episode 6 of Venture Maidens. You all rock. That's good. Anything else we had to take care of business-wise?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Do we do
If
it?
you love horse girl energy, there's now a Tony coloring book page.
Yeah,
on our
go to the Patreon. $1 a month. Oh, see Tony
it's
riding on horses.
magnificent.
It is. It's
I'm
beautiful.
really excited for the eventual coloring pages of our bedrooms too. So
Yes, please.
Yes.
Let's please bring it. All right. You all rock. You all rock our socks. So until next time.
Venture